A Traeger Pro 575 costs $900 to buy and $140 to build. A Pit Boss costs $800 to buy and $120 to build. Americans spend $4 billion annually on grills, yet the manufacturing cost stays locked between $40 and $200 per unit. The markup is not a mistake. The markup is the business model. Here are the 10 brands that opt out of it entirely. The math the industry hides. Every grill brand on the floor at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Walmart operates on the same formula. Source components from the lowest bidder in Guangdong. Apply a coating that passes the showroom floor test. Calculate the price point that triggers an impulse purchase. Spend the margin on shelf placement fees and Instagram sponsorships. Repeat the cycle when the grill fails in year 3. The manufacturing cost of a $400 Broil gas grill sits at approximately $55 to $75. The $325 gap between the factory and the shelf did not go into the steel. It went into convincing the buyer that the steel was worth the price. The construction tells the truth. The logo tells a story. Number 1 on this list will permanently change how a grill purchase gets evaluated. Number 10. Weber Kettle, 1952. George Stephen cut a metal buoy in half in a Chicago fabrication yard and invented the covered grill. His co-workers called it Sputnik. They said nobody would buy it. 73 years later, the Weber Kettle, at $110, is the most copied grill design on earth, and the copies still cannot match the original at 1/5 the price of what the copiers charge. Porcelain-coated steel firebox. Temperature control from 225 degrees for smoking to 600 degrees for direct searing. Ash system that requires 0 replacement parts. Weber kettles purchased in 1987 are still cooking in American backyards today. The smart buyer understands one thing about the Weber kettle that the marketing industry does not want acknowledged. A $110 grill that lasts 30 years is a catastrophic business model for every competitor trying to sell a $400 grill that lasts 3 years. The kettle does not get marketing budget because it does not need to be replaced. Number 9. Broil King Regal. Most American buyers have never heard of Broil King. It belongs on this list because it emphasizes engineering over marketing. Onward Manufacturing in Waterloo, Ontario has been building grills since 1906. It is still privately owned, with no outside shareholders and no quarterly earnings call where a chief financial officer explains why the firebox steel gauge needs to drop to protect the margin. The Broil King Regal S490 retails at $649. The Weber Genesis E325 retails at $899. The Broil King includes cast iron cooking grates as standard equipment. The Weber charges extra for the cast iron upgrade on a grill that costs $250 more. Dual tube burners eliminate the hot spots above the tube and the cold zones between tubes that define the cooking experience on most straight tube competitors. Double wall hood construction keeps the outer surface cool to the touch and retains interior heat efficiently. At $250 less than the comparable Weber, it outperforms on material specification. Broil King spends the marketing budget on engineering. The result shows in the grate, the hood, and the burner geometry, not in a YouTube sponsorship. Number 8. Oklahoma Joe's Longhorn Reverse Flow. Joe Davidson started welding smokers in a gas station parking lot in Stillwater, Oklahoma in 1987 and selling them at competition weekends. The engineering came from watching fire and smoke behave in a cook chamber for years, not from a product development team optimizing for a retail price point. The Longhorn Reverse Flow uses a 12-gauge cook chamber at $519. Every competing offset in the under $600 category uses 16 or 18 gauge. 12 gauge is the standard on smokers retailing at $1,200 and above. The reverse flow baffle plate keeps cooking temperature within 10 degrees across the entire grate surface. Standard offsets at this price swing 50 degrees from the firebox end to the stack end. That swing is not a user error. It is an engineering decision, or the absence of one. One caveat applies to every smart buyer considering the Longhorn. The brand was acquired by Broil. Confirm the 12-gauge specification on the Longhorn reverse flow specifically before purchasing. Check the gauge on every other product in the line before trusting the name. Number 7. Pit Barrel Cooker. Noah Glanville is a veteran who wanted a simple, consistent, foolproof way to feed a large group. He spent years refining a drum smoker design before selling the first unit in 2010. The company is still independently operated out of Henderson, Nevada. No holding company, no private equity timeline, no portfolio manager deciding how thin the steel can get before the return rate affects the quarterly report. The Pit Barrel Cooker Classic retails at $299. It uses 18-gauge steel, heavier than any grill in the price category. Porcelain enamel is applied at high temperature, covering the entire interior including every seam. No electronics, no auger, no controller to drift, no Wi-Fi app to crash at hour 7 of a 12-hour brisket. Meat hung vertically bastes itself continuously as fat renders down the entire surface. Competition judges in blind tastings have consistently rated Pit Barrel Cooker results against equipment costing 5 times the price. $299. Nobody is paying influencers to mention it. The results are the marketing. Number 6. PK Grills PK360. The original portable kitchen grill was manufactured in Little Rock, Arkansas in 1952 using cast aluminum construction. The original company went bankrupt in the 1970s. The molds sat dormant for decades. In 2010, a group of buyers in Little Rock acquired the original molds and restarted production using the identical 1952 geometry and wall thickness. Cast aluminum does not rust. The passive oxide layer that forms on aluminum permanently prevents further oxidation. Not in coastal salt air, not in humid southern summers, not after 20 years of outdoor exposure. The same firebox on a PK360 purchased today will be functionally identical in year 20 as it is in year 1. 4 cooking positions inside the cast aluminum shell create 4 distinct heat zones from a single coal bed. That temperature management is something gas grills with 4 separate burners struggle to replicate from one fire. $499 for a cooking system that cannot rust, built from molds that have been producing the same geometry for 73 years. The last charcoal grill most smart buyers will ever need to purchase. Number 5. Lodge Cast Iron Grates. In 1896, Joseph Lodge opened a foundry in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Population 30,000. The town has not changed much in 129 years. Neither has the manufacturing philosophy. Lodge is still in the same location, still run by Joseph Lodge's descendants. Great-grandchildren are in leadership today. A new 127,000 square foot foundry was built in 2017 directly adjacent to the original. Same town, same workers, same iron. A Lodge cast iron grill grate is indestructible. No coating to flake, no electronics to fail. If it rusts, steel wool and vegetable oil restore the surface in 2 hours. If it overheats, the same fix applies. The surface improves with every cook as the seasoning layer deepens and the non-stick properties strengthen. Cast iron holds heat at a level stainless steel grates never reach. The sear comes from thermal energy stored in the metal itself, not radiant heat from the flame below. Between $30 and $60, depending on size. A Lodge grill grate does not get purchased. It gets inherited. Number 4. Kamado Joe. Ceramic Kamado grills command premium prices. Kamado Joe justifies the investment more completely than any competitor in the category. The Classic series runs from $1,200 to $2,500. Thick ceramic walls hold temperature through 18-hour cooks on a single charcoal load and reach 750 degrees for high-heat pizza from the same setup. The divide and conquer system allows simultaneous grilling and smoking at different temperatures, a cooking flexibility no gas or pellet grill replicates. Where Kamado Joe separates from the Big Green Egg, the brand it most directly competes with, is post-purchase support. Kamado Joe ships replacement components directly to the buyer. Big Green Egg routes every warranty claim through dealer networks that add weeks of friction to every resolution. The ceramic construction outlasts the buyer. A Kamado Joe is not a grill purchase. It is a cooking instrument passed to the next generation in functioning condition. Smart buyers do not calculate the cost per season. They calculate the cost per decade. Ben Lang started building smokers in Nahunta, Georgia in 1988 because he could not find one he trusted. He is still building them today. His name is on every unit that leaves the shop. That fact explains every engineering decision the company has ever made. Lang holds a patent on the reverse flow design. A steel baffle plate runs under the cook chamber floor. Heat and smoke travel beneath the food, reverse direction at the far end, and return across the top before exiting. Temperature consistency is within 5 to 10 degrees across the entire grate surface from end to end. Standard offset smokers swing 50 degrees across the same distance. Every Lang is built from quarter-inch steel. Every weld is done in Georgia. Every unit ships with a lifetime warranty on the cook chamber, offered by a manufacturer who knows the cook chamber will never be the reason for a warranty claim. No private equity firm owns the decision about how thick the steel can be. No quarterly report changes what goes into the next unit. Ben Lang puts his name on the product because the product earns it. Yoder Smokers is built in Hutchinson, Kansas. The people who build the grill are the same people who answer the phone when a buyer has a question. Every Yoder cook chamber starts as 3/16 of an inch American steel plate, 3 times the thickness of the sheet metal found on budget grills at Home Depot, and the same gauge used on professional competition rigs that travel to events every weekend and cook for 10 hours straight in conditions that would destroy a Traeger before the brisket finished. The welds are done by hand. The lid fit is checked before the unit ships. No portfolio manager is calculating how thin the steel can get before the return rate affects the quarterly earnings call. Yoder builds one thing, and they have been building it the same way since the company started. The Wichita offset smoker will still be running 30 years from now. The only maintenance it will need is a wire brush and a coat of high-temperature paint once a decade. Smart buyers do not calculate the price. They calculate the ownership timeline. Number 1. Blaze. Most American backyard cooks have never heard of Blaze, and the reason is the same reason it tops this list. Blaze does not buy YouTube sponsorships at the rate Traeger and Weber do. The marketing budget goes into the materials instead. Every component in a Blaze grill uses 304 grade stainless steel, the same specification found in commercial restaurant equipment. BBQ guys tested every Blaze component with an XRF analyzer, a device that identifies material composition at the atomic level to verify the stainless steel claims were accurate. Every component confirmed at specification. The test that most grill manufacturers would prefer not to exist confirmed that Blaze delivers exactly what the product states. 9mm triangular cooking rods transfer stored thermal energy directly to food. Cast stainless steel burners outlast the welded tube burners found in every competitor. Perforated flame tamers run the full grill width for even heat distribution. There is a lifetime warranty on the burners, cooking grids, flame tamers, heat zone separators, and the grill body, offered because the manufacturer already knows those components will not fail within the warranty window. Traeger spent $2 billion on a brand built on top of a $140 product. Blaze spent the equivalent budget on 304 grade stainless and a lifetime warranty. One of those companies is betting on the buyer never running a magnet across the stainless steel or asking what gauge the cook chamber is. The other one already knows what the answer will be. The pattern: Weber Kettle, Broil King, Oklahoma Joe's, Pit Barrel Cooker, PK Grills, Lodge, Kamado Joe, Lang, Yoder, Blaze. Every brand on the list shares one characteristic: the construction is the marketing. There is no budget left for advertising after the engineering decisions are made, because the engineering choices consume the margin that other brands redirect to shelf placement and influencer campaigns. Charbroil spends more on retail shelf placement than on firebox steel. Traeger spends more on lifestyle branding than on temperature controller accuracy. Pit Boss spends more on square-inch claims than on auger material grade. Smart buyers check two numbers before any grill purchase: the steel gauge of the cook chamber, the ownership structure of the company. If the manufacturer cannot answer the first question, the formula is the reason. If the answer to the second question is a holding company or a publicly traded entity, the formula is also the reason. The construction always tells the truth. The label never does. Before the next grill purchase, run a magnet across the stainless steel. Ask one question: what gauge steel is the cook chamber? Those two checks will tell more about the grill than every specification sheet and every sponsored review combined. If this video changed how you evaluate grills, subscribe, drop a like, and tell me in the comments which brand on the list you are running, and did it earn its spot.